As you know, under the working group of human rights as human values under C20, we are going to put a draft for our conference that is going to held in Nalanda in April 6th and 7th. It's a basic draft, and I think we are open for discussion and we are open for suggestions. The preamble of Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 1948 of the United Nations states that recognition of the inherent dignity and the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is a foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world. Whereas it is essential, if the man is not to be compelled to have resource as a last resort to rebellion against tyranny and oppression, that human rights should be protected by the rule of law. The UN Declaration of Human Rights constitutes general principles of the law of humanity. The United Nations Charter also reaffirms its faith in human rights, the dignity and the worth of humans, and the equal rights of all human beings. The United Nations defines human rights are rights inherent to all human beings, regardless of race, sex, nationality, ethnicity, language, religion, or any other status. Human rights include the right of life and liberty, freedom from slavery and torture, freedom of opinion and expression, the right to work and education, and many more. Everyone is entitled to these rights without discrimination. These rights vary from the most fundamental, the right of life, to those that make life worth living, such as the right to food, education, work, health, liberty, etc. It is the state to protect all these rights. The concept of human rights is enshrined in ancient Indian literature like Vedas, Shastra, Dharmashastra, epics, etc. Ancient Indian texts talk about equality and brotherhood. Rigveda, which is regarded as the oldest literature, declares that we have to live together, talk together, and know each other's minds. May our consultation and assemblies be unified. May our minds and intellects be common. May your resolution be united and your hearts beat in unison. May your mind unite to make you happy. It reflects that the Indian value system talks about equality, harmony, and fraternity. Dharmashastras and Arthashastras and other texts of ancient Indian philosophy regulated the duties of kings, judges, subject, and judicial as well as legal procedures. The central concept of dharma binds kings and citizens, man and woman. Human rights gain meaning only when an independent judiciary enforces rights, which has been prevalent in India since ancient times. Similarly, according to Buddhist philosophy, human nature is the ultimate source of human rights, and rights are extension of human qualities like liberty, life, and security. Therefore, the philosophy gives credit to the human personality with dignity and moral responsibility. Provision of Part 3 of the Indian Constitution deal with fundamental rights, and Part 4 for directive principle of state policy closely resembles the script of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Indian Constitution has provisions that include a wide range of rights, including civil, political, economic, social, religious, and minority rights. India holds the presidency of G20 this year. We wish to reaffirm and pledge that human rights are universal in nature and can in no way be undermined and must be upheld to the best of our capabilities. There are discussions and recommendations on human rights issues in the meetings of G20 members countries. This year, under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi, G20 will work on deliver deeper into the human rights issues and suggestions that can help in the policy framing for the entire G20 countries. Against this background, a two-day international conference will be organized on human rights as human values. This conference will be organized at the Nalanda University campus in Bihar between April 6th and 7th, 2023. And in the month which marks the 132nd birth anniversary of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, one of the greatest Indian politicians, civil rights activist, and chairman of the draft committee of the Indian Constitution. Objectives of this conference are hereunder: to engage in the dialogue on human rights as human values at the global level, to mobilize the G20 states to remove poverty, inequality, and other United Nations SDGs by 2030, to generate awareness for the ongoing exploration of good practice in the fields of human rights, including education, health, good governance, environment, social justice, etc. To highlight the work that has been done and what is to be done by G20 countries to advance human rights meaningfully. To develop policy brief for G20 countries with the intent that these states will frame their policies and program in accordance with the spirit of the policy brief. And there will be some sub-themes. The broad sub-themes of the conference are as under: evolution of human rights and civil society, human rights and duties, Divyang and human rights, education and human rights, women rights and human rights and environment, media and human rights, LGBTQ and human rights, health and human rights, digital space and human rights, democracy, public governance and human rights and cultural rights, human rights and child rights. These will be the sub-themes, and we will hear our dignitaries here today, and after this we will be open for discussion for your suggestions, and there will be 1.5 month long discussion, and this whole year we will keep discussing it, and then we need to prepare a policy brief that will be submitted to G20 Secretariat. On this note, we have Vinayji with us, and Vinayji is supposed to go some other place. Our two guests are in hurry today, but Vinayji has appointment I think at 11:30, and it is already 10 minutes. So okay. I would like to invite here Vinayji for his guidance and for his address. Thank you, Vinayji.